The start of a winter storm is about 30 hours away from entering southern Wisconsin. I have the very latest model projections on what you can expect.
And there are still plenty of travelers looking to make it home for the holiday. We'll detail how smooth some of those trips have been going. Plus, prices for groceries have gone up across the nation, how the increase could affect that last-minute meal shopping. That's all coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us in, and happy Thanksgiving. Eric and Sarah are off tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Let's begin tonight with a look at the forecast. Alert day conditions are expected this weekend with a winter storm on the way. Alex, how much snow are we expecting?
We're looking at widespread 6 to 9 inches across southern Wisconsin with very likely significant travel impacts throughout the day on Saturday, starting as early as Friday night and ending Sunday morning. And this is not just for southern Wisconsin. This is for much of the upper Midwest. I want to emphasize that Minneapolis, Madison, Chicago, Detroit, major hubs for air travel and ground travel are all going to be impacted by this significant winter storm. We already have winter storm watches in effect for all of southern Wisconsin. Winter storm warnings have been issued for parts of southern Minnesota, Iowa, and northwest Illinois, and I do anticipate parts of southern Wisconsin to be upgraded to a winter storm warning, likely as we get into the morning hours on Friday. What are we up against snowfall-wise here? I have moved our totals up just a little bit as latest weather models are coming in and indicating perhaps a little bit uptick in amounts. 9 inches or more sneaking into the Platteville to Darlington to Monroe to Janesville area. 6 to 9 inches Madison from areas getting closer to the Dells, and widespread 6-inch amounts as you head up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. When I come back here in a few minutes, we're going to use Future Track to show you when the snow starts, when it will peak, and when it will end, and I will give you a picture of the entire upper Midwest on those impacts.
Thank you, Alex. Of course, this comes during a busy travel weekend. AAA estimates about 82 million Americans are traveling at least 50 miles for Thanksgiving. It's all about gratitude, connection, and especially family. Chris Van Cleve is at Washington's Reagan National Airport with the story.
In Dallas, the day before Thanksgiving rush turned into a turkey trot for some flyers who left their cars after getting stuck in this massive backup coming into DFW Airport. In the Midwest and Northeast, Wednesday's winter weather contributed to more than 6,000 flight delays and made driving treacherous at times. But many of the last-minute travelers braving one of the busiest days of the year found their trips surprisingly smooth.
We were nervous, but traffic was great and the parking was so easy. Everything's open, so we're happy.
As much of the nation sits down to dinner, a moment of thanks came early for Delta Captain Malik Senegal.
Come with me to the car.
He surprised his grandfather Albert, flying the man who raised him for the first time and fulfilling a promise he made as a little boy to one day pilot his grandpa's flight.
I'm really surprised by it, and I can't be more happy for him and for me too, you know.
He would spend his hard-earned money on a flight simulator when we really didn't have the money for that. And to finally give that dream back to them, to show them that, hey, it paid off, and, you know, thank you for believing in me, it means a lot to me.
A high-flying moment of gratitude marking a holiday built on giving thanks and being together.
It's just a full circle moment, and I finally get to share something I love with him for the first time.
And it wasn't just his grandfather. Captain Senegal was able to get the whole family together on the same flight for the first time. Now, when we look at the trek home, Sunday is expected to be the busiest day on the roads and here at the airports, but there is concern about potential winter weather for that travel day.
Well, back here, volunteers came together at a Madison church to feed local families in need. It's the 31st consecutive year the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church has held its community Thanksgiving meal. It took more than 100 volunteers to make and serve this meal. Organizers say they expected to feed about 500 people this year.
So this holiday isn't only about food, it's also about being together with people. We love the opportunity to gather people who might otherwise be alone during the holiday, to actually sit together, to talk with other people, to eat together. I think that's a real gift of this event. We did a drive-through a couple years and that was fine, but actually being here in person is just way better. It's been really a great opportunity for us.
Good Shepherd also provides food through its Holy Cow food truck. This year it served more than 6,000 meals at 72 different events. U.S. consumer prices have risen 1.7% on average this year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And while food prices are up, the cost of Thanksgiving might not be. Elie LaLiberte has the story.
Carrots, celery, and some turkey gravy.
For last-minute shoppers like Scott Keffer,
I had to pick up a few things that I didn't get the couple days before.
the cost of the holidays isn't ideal.
And the prices are definitely a lot more than what I really want to pay for the things that I used to pay for.
And Keffer isn't alone in feeling that way. According to a Marquette Law School poll, 75% of adults nationwide say the prices of groceries have gone up over the last 6 months. But does that mean this Thanksgiving is more expensive?
This year, more than most, it's, I would say, kind of a mixed bag.
UW-Madison assistant professor Jeffrey Hadachek says maybe.
Depending on where you're buying, what quality of products you're buying, you may not notice much difference, but others, there may be a pretty sizable difference.
And the biggest difference, Hadachek says canned fruits and vegetables could be more expensive because of tariffs on steel and aluminum used to make the cans. But he says tariffs won't be impacting your entire Thanksgiving dinner table.
A lot of those Thanksgiving staples are actually produced domestically, and so may not be as directly affected by tariffs.
In fact, according to the American Farm Bureau Federation survey, a table of classic Thanksgiving dishes for 10 people will cost $55.18, down 5% from last year. But this Thanksgiving is still more expensive than it was 4 years ago, leaving consumers like Keffer frustrated.
Seems like everything's going up. It's never going to end.
Reporting in Madison, Elie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
But you know what's beginning tomorrow? The Super Bowl of shopping, of course, and you can decipher the codes on the price tags and you might be able to save some more. So at Costco, the last 2 digits of a price tag, it can tell you a lot. 99 cents means there's no deal, but 97 cents is a manager markdown. And an asterisk means after it's gone, the item isn't coming back anytime soon, while 79 is a discount set by the manufacturer.
What about when I see 49 and 89?
Those are limited time manager special discounts. These are on seasonal items, so they also will not be restocked. You might not be ready to buy your gift wrap or holiday items just yet, but grab it because chances are they will sell out.
At TJ Maxx, if the tag has the number 1 at the end, that means the product was specially made for TJ Maxx, meaning it did not come from a big box retailer and it may not be as good of a deal. Other retailers do that as well, from Target to Home Depot. A good rule of thumb, if the price doesn't end in a 99, it's usually on sale. Today, a favorite Thanksgiving tradition for many people kicked off in Madison. Runners and walkers laced up for the Birdie Derby 10K run and 5K run or walk this morning. Look at all those folks. The race attracts a lot of people from near and far, but look closely, even a prehistoric participant.
I think he wants to chase some of the turkeys and see if he can catch some of the turkeys. Last year we did it. It was such a great experience, family in from out of town, and it's just so fun to come out, exercise, get out as a family, and enjoy this cold weather.
The Birdie Derby donates 100% of its proceeds to Active Youth Wisconsin, which creates accessible opportunities for kids to get active. Next at 10, U.S. troops across the world get a taste of home. And we're learning more about the ambush on 2 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. What we know about the suspect. Stay.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
President Trump says one of the 2 National Guard members shot in Washington, D.C. last night has died. Natalie Brand has more details from Washington.
President Trump announced on Thursday night that one of the 2 National Guard members shot while patrolling the nation's capital on Thanksgiving Eve has died from her injuries.
Right now, I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023. Outstanding in every way. She's just passed away.
The other National Guardsman was identified as 24-year-old Andrew Wolf. Investigators say the suspect in Wednesday's deadly shooting drove cross-country to carry out an ambush attack.
A lone gunman opened fire without provocation, ambush style, armed with a .357 Smith & Wesson revolver.
Officials identified the suspect as 29-year-old Ramanallah Lakhanwal of Washington State, an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in 2021 following the American withdrawal from the war-torn country. The CIA said Lakhanwal previously worked with the U.S. government in Afghanistan. A Department of Homeland Security official tells CBS News the suspected gunman was granted asylum earlier this year on humanitarian grounds.
We must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country.
In addition, the director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says he has ordered at the direction of President Trump a full-scale, rigorous re-examination of all green cards for every immigrant from more than a dozen countries of concern, including Afghanistan.
The Trump administration says it's pausing the processing of all immigration applications for Afghan nationals following the incident. Now to our forecast. The First Warn weather team is tracking a winter storm. Alex, just as a reminder for everyone, when will the snow start and when will it end?
Great question. That snow is going to start very late Friday night, probably right around 3 o'clock or so in the morning, south and west of Madison, and then not ending for areas east of Madison until we get to Sunday morning, probably in that 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. time frame. 6 to 9 inches are likely across southern Wisconsin. Much of the state is impacted. Much of the upper Midwest is impacted by this weather system. I have nudged totals up just a bit as weather models coming in this evening are showing a bit more of a consensus of a little bit more moisture with this weather system that rings out, I guess, in this case, in the form of more snow. So 6 to 9 inches, some locally higher amounts possible from Boscobel to Lone Rock to Madison to Watertown. That 9+ band extending from Iowa into northern Illinois, sneaking up into our southern bottom tier counties, Lafayette, Green Rock counties over towards Janesville, and that could shift a little bit further to the north as well. Widespread 6-inch amounts near the Dells, areas up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. Now we have a winter storm watch in effect for much of southern Wisconsin, upgraded to a winter storm warning already out for Iowa, parts of northeast Iowa and northwest Illinois. The National Weather Services in La Crosse and in Milwaukee are considering a winter storm warning for parts of southern Wisconsin, but we're probably not going to see that warning if this watch is upgraded to a warning until we get a little bit further into Friday. Let's track the weather system. The snow starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. By noon, some heavier snow building into Prairie du Chien, into Boscobel. Winds strong out of the east and southeast. Moderate to heavy snow at times at 6 o'clock in the afternoon and going into the evening hours of Saturday. And then watch as we go towards 10 o'clock. Still some moderate to heavy snow. And look how widespread this snow swath is from northwest to southeast across really the entire state. So even if this weather system toggles a little bit further to the south, we're still going to get accumulating snow here in southern Wisconsin, even if the weather system does move a little bit further to the south. Here's that snow still at 6 o'clock in the morning. Gusty winds, some blowing and some drifting of snow, and conditions will eventually improve as we head a little bit later into Sunday. Anywhere where you see this red area here, what that means is a high chance for heavy snow, perhaps 9 or more inches within this red zone here from Iowa into southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and northern lower Michigan. And this is also where we're going to see the highest travel impacts, both on ground and by air. So be on the lookout again. If you have travel on Saturday, this is going to be a difficult go in the upper Midwest. Now let's break things down here a little bit more. The timing again, I just threw a lot of information at you, is late Friday night into early Sunday. Widespread snow in much of the upper Midwest. Ground and air travel affected here. And some of the latest indications here as that storm track narrows on Friday. Once the weather system gets out into the plains, weather models do a better job of narrowing in on that track because it's currently out over the mountains right now. That 9-inch plus band possibly expanding further to the north, and I want to highlight that as we head into Friday, that we could be seeing those totals inching up. All pun intended, so to speak here. 19 to 20 for lows tonight. High temperatures as we go into that shopping Friday here in the upper 20s. And with nice conditions overall on Friday, I encourage you, if you have the ability to travel home, if you happen to be listening into our newscast or you have family and friends that are away from southern Wisconsin that need to get to southern Wisconsin, I think Friday is your day to do that because Saturday is probably just going to be a no-go at this point from Minneapolis to Madison to Chicago. Chicago to Detroit. Sunny, things will improve as we head into the afternoon hours, but it will still be probably a slow go and probably some backlog, of course, with any air travel or ground travel issues that we may run into on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Alex. Well, tens of thousands of American troops stationed around the world this Thanksgiving are getting a little taste of home, with the Pentagon shipping in a feast of holiday favorites. Tina Kraus reports from London.
U.S. troops deck the halls with holiday cheer at an air base in Poland, bringing a little Thanksgiving spirit to their home away from home. In Romania, soldiers hit the field for a game of football, keeping holiday tradition alive while working up an appetite for what was coming. A feast filled with festive favorites.
Meals like this help the morale because it allows soldiers to feel that comfort of home.
Troops overseas had a smorgasbord of choices, with the Pentagon flying in more than 276,000 pounds of turkey and beef, along with hefty helpings of ham and shrimp, more than 6,000 cans of sweet potatoes, some 15,000 crates of pies and cakes, and nearly 800 cases of eggnog to wash it all down. Aside from the hot, home-cooked meals, service members say they have plenty more to be thankful for this year.
And this Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for my partner, Military Working Dog Bluff.
I'm thankful for all the friends that I've made out here, especially during the winter times like this when I'm away from my family. They're the new family that I've made out here, and I wouldn't make it as far as I did without them.
Thank you all.
The warmth of the holiday keeping troops connected, no matter the miles.
Well, back here at home, some local sports fans had a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah, definitely a couple wins today. I'll tell you guys all about it, how the Packers served this Thanksgiving and more next on News 3 Now. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving, Madison. Now, while you guys were stirring pots at home, the Packers were back in Detroit for the second matchup with the Lions this season, and let me tell you, they were cooking with hot grease too. With only a field goal made in the first half, J. Love loads up in the pocket and sends one deep that falls into the hands of Dontavian Wicks for the touchdown on the first of the game. But the Lions pulled up a seat at the table. David Montgomery runs one in to dish out 6 for the Lions, but it would be all Green Bay after that. Into the third, Love in the pocket, and man, you would have thought he was whipping up some mac and cheese as he served a 51-yard platter to Christian Watson for the touchdown. The Packers go on to win this one 31-24, earning some turkey and sweeping the Lions for the first time since 2020. For more on this Packers win, here's Jason Wilde.
The Packers go to Detroit and beat the Lions 31-24 on Thanksgiving at Ford Field, and they do it because their coach, Matt LaFleur, Dan Campbell, the Lions coach. The Lions coach is well known for being aggressive, especially on fourth down. Well, in this game, 5 fourth down plays occurred. 3 the Packers go for. They get all 3. A touchdown pass from Jordan Love to Dontavian Wicks, another touchdown to Romeo Doubs, and then Love hitting Wicks with the game-clinching completion with under 2 minutes to go. The Lions, meanwhile, go for it twice on fourth down, and the Packers defense rises up and stops them both times. That's why both Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love believe fourth down told the story.
No, we've talked. Matt wanted to definitely stay aggressive in this game. And we had conversations all week, like I said, that, it's going to come down to the pass game. We've got to go win it in the air. And, I think it's just the confidence he has in everybody on the offense to be able to go out there and make those plays. And, it's one of those games you've got to be aggressive. You got to stay aggressive to go win it because we know, it's a really good offense on the other side of the ball. And you want to stay away from trying to give them the ball back. But, I love the mindset to be aggressive right there.
We knew going into the game, Dan's always been aggressive, and we knew it was going to come down to that. And I think really when you look at it, both sides of the ball, the fourth down was the difference in the game.
By this time tomorrow, the Packers could be in first place in the NFC North if the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chicago Bears in their big Black Friday game. We'll have full coverage of the Packers win and everything else Packers on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Well, thanks, Jason. Besides football, you know what else goes well with Thanksgiving? Basketball. And Wisconsin men's basketball went toe-to-toe with Providence at the Grady Children's Invitational Tournament in San Diego, California. Leading in the first half, Austin Rapp knocks down the triple to keep the Badgers in the lead. Then the man of the night, Nick Boyd, adds 3 to his 18 of that first half, finishing the night with 36 points. And also in the family spirit of Thanksgiving, closing this one out, Coach's son, Isaac Garb, with his second 3 of the night, and the Badgers win this one 104-83, moving on to take on TCU at the tournament tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. We'll be back with a final look at the weather after this.
Tonight, you know my first guest tonight because he is Tom Hanks.
Sign me up for that.
The Late Show, CBS Tonight.
And finally tonight, look at this. A conservation zoo in the UK has welcomed a baby giraffe. This endangered reticulated calf was born at the Whipsnade Zoo in Bedfordshire on November 18th during a meteor shower of all things.
Ooh.
Yeah, zookeepers say the baby is a girl, is healthy, happy, and energetic. They say the mom, Luna, is a phenomenal mother. The zoo's members are voting on the calf's name, and it will be revealed next week. I think, any suggestions, Alex?
Comet.
Comet, yeah. Celestial themed. Okay.
That's cute. I don't know, Luna.
Luna?
Wasn't it the
Luna
mom's
Jr.,
name?
yeah.
Luna Jr. That's cute. You only see like juniors and guys and like boys.
Starting
so, like,
a new thing.
Starting a new
How
thing.
about Stardust?
Stardust?
Stardust
Okay,
is
that's a
cute.
good one. Speaking of dust, we're going to get more than a dusting of
dusting.
snow. Yeah, I had a segue here. We have a major winter storm heading towards the upper Midwest. This is Friday night through Sunday morning. Widespread 6 inches of snow are expected across all of southern Wisconsin, but we're keeping a very close eye on where a locally heavier band could set up somewhere between Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin. It could sneak as far north as Madison with some of the latest weather models that I've been observing and really digging into over the course of the past hour and a half. All of the upper Midwest will be impacted by this weather system. It's a wide swath of snow that's going to extend from Minneapolis to Madison to Chicago over to Detroit. So there will be travel impacts on Saturday going into Saturday night for sure. And as I mentioned earlier in weather just a few minutes ago, if you have the opportunity to travel tomorrow, I would encourage you to travel tomorrow and get home and get safe, hunker down, and we'll get through it.
Yeah, that's good advice. And happy Thanksgiving to you, Alex,
Yes, you as well.
To you too.
And happy Thanksgiving to all of you watching. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is next, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Have a great night.